everyone. In today's lesson, let's continue to study the investigation and statistical methods of tea plant diseases and pests in the science of tea pest prevention and control. First of all, let's take a look at the occurrence and distribution types of diseases and pests and the sampling methods of investigation. All kinds of forecasting methods are based on the data obtained from field investigation, and the corresponding sampling methods are generally adopted according to the distribution pattern of diseases and pests. To investigate the population density of diseases and insects, the marker replenishment method can also be used. To investigate the number of insects with migration activities under certain time and space conditions, the SEAS data can be used as the basis of statistical analysis of various predictions and predictions. The spatial distribution pattern of the population is one of the characteristics of the population. The spatial distribution types of insects include random distribution, aggregate distribution, and mosaic distribution. First, let's take a look at the random distribution method. In the population, each individual has an equal probability of occurrence in the sampling unit, but has nothing to do with other individuals of the same species. This kind of insect is active and evenly distributed in the field. The number of sampling can be less, and each sampling site can be slightly larger. It is suitable for 5-point sampling or diagonal sampling. It can be described by the theoretical formula of Poisson distribution. And then take a look at the aggregate distribution method. The existence of one or more individuals in the population affects the occurrence of other individuals, or the probability of the same sampling unit. This kind of insects have weak activity and uneven distribution in the field, showing many cores or small groups. The number of sampling can be more commonly used branch sampling or chessboard sampling, which can be described by theoretical formulas such as negative binomial distribution of Neyman distribution and positive binomial distribution of Poisson distribution. Most of the distribution of diseases and insect pests belong to this type. Finally, let's take a look at the mosaic distribution method. Individuals show an even density distribution in the field, mostly from other places, or spread from dense to the surrounding. Uneven distribution, more or less embedded. Sampling quantity can be more during the survey. Each sample point can be appropriately less. It is appropriate to use Z-shaped sampling or chessboard sampling. The specific sampling methods are single diagonal sampling, double diagonal sampling, 5-point sampling, chessboard sampling, parallel jump sampling, Z-shaped sampling, branch sampling. Sampling units are often used to investigate the population of diseases and pests. According to the distribution pattern of diseases and pests, the quadrat is a random sampling plot used to investigate the population of diseases and pests. Sampling methods. The sampling units used can be determined according to the actual situation. There are 4 commonly used indicators. 1. The number of diseases and pests on the branches of 1 meter in length or 10 centimeters. 2. Area counting. The number of diseases and pests per unit area, such as 1 centare. 3. The volume count per unit volume, such as the number of diseases and pests in 1 centare. 4. Time statistics, the number of diseases and insects observed per unit time, example, 1 minute or 1 hour. Finally, we continue to study the statistical methods of disease and pest investigation. It mainly include the list method, the graphic method, and the equation method. First, take a look at the list method. The list method is simple and easy to make. The data can be compared easily. A table can show the changes of multiple variables at the same time. Informative. The list should include the serial number of the table questions, items, notes, etc. And the table questions should be placed on the top of the table. The project is as simple as possible, and the important content can be placed in the front. Some notes can be added appropriately to accurately explain the content. Then the graphic method is concise and intuitive, can show the highest point, lowest point, midpoint, inflection point, and period, etc. It is easy to show the changing trend of population, community, or a physiological process that is difficult to be described accurately by language. The equation method is also commonly used and has strong generality. Broad strong. The changes of dependent variables can be predicted by independent variables. Next, let's take a look at several commonly used characteristic numbers and their calculation methods. Countable traits whose calculation method is not easy to count. Quantitative methods can be used, which can be converted into the number per unit area or volume after investigation. The grade method is used when it is not easy to count. For example, T. orange galls. The mite infestation level is divided into level 0, 0 head per leaf, level 1, 1 to 50 heads per leaf, level 2, 51 to 100 heads per leaf, level 5, above 200 heads per leaf. Sometimes the survey only needs a general understanding of the basic situation of the occurrence of diseases and pests in a T area. Usually, the number of cross is often used to indicate the number of diseases and pests. For example, a cross sign indicates accidental discovery. 2 cross signs indicate minor occurrence, indicating more and serious occurring respectively. The second method, T tree's damage rate equals the number of damaged plants, stems, leaves, flowers, and fruits, divided by the total number of investigated plants plus 100%. The third method, the disease can cause pathological changes in the bud, leaf, flower, fruit, stem, and root. Before the investigation, the field samples were taken according to the degree of damage, and the results were graded and counted. The disease index equals sigma, value of each stage by number of leaves of the corresponding grade, divided by the total number of leaves investigated plus the highest grade value plus 100%. Those are the main contents of this lesson. Thank you for your listening. Bye!